Being 3 o'clock, I'd like to call the Weston Tourism Commission to order. We could all stand and pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. We do a roll call, please.
Willing,
Here.
Everett,
Here.
Maloney,
Here.
Wyland, here, Zagami,
Here.
All right, before public comments, I'd like to welcome Kim Frederick to our Tourism Commission. She is a hotelier with the Holiday Inn here in the village of Weston. And we are extremely happy to have you on board. So thank you very much for serving. And she may be a little quiet at first, but once she figures this out, she'll be just going right at it. It might be in 10 minutes, who knows? So, all right, with that being said, public comments. Anybody online or anybody in the public in the audience that wants to speak to the commission on any issue? Other than what we have in the packet already, so. Anybody online? No? Okay. So moving on, minutes from the previous meeting. Approval of minutes from the previous meeting, August 19th, 2024. What's your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Wyland,
Second.
second by Ermeling. Any questions on the previous meeting? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Acknowledge work product transmittals, you wanna do, okay, old and new. So acknowledge work product transmittals, number 5, September budget status report.
Motion to acknowledge.
Motion to acknowledge by Ermeling,
Second.
second by Zagami. Anything on the question? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Number 6, CVB reports.
Motion to acknowledge.
Oh, Tim was want to say a little something.
Oh, do you want me to?
No, it's okay. I mean, we can acknowledge or you can talk, either one.
Okay.
State your name and address for the record.
Yes, Tim White, address is 225-721 Swan Avenue, Red Mountain, Wausau, Wisconsin. Yeah, just a couple of things to keep on tabs with what's going on. You know, we're gearing up for the bowling, all the cool bowling things that are going on at Dale's. In fact, Dale had a great idea and we basically made a specific cover of our visitor's guide to hand out to 2,000 bowlers. The Green Hack Turner facility, we're continuing to work on leads and meet with some potential other events that might be held there. The World Horseshoe Tournament, we got a Ready, Set, Go grant from the state of Wisconsin as well for $25,000, which will help us with more things. And there are some other grants that we're going for too. You know, I just want to reiterate, I know that we'll be going into this contract talk soon and took a look at some of the contract ideas and just wanted to let you know that we are here representing not only Weston, but the entire area of Greater Wausau. And Greater Wausau is, you know, only strengthened by everybody working together. I think of Matthew 12, that Jesus says a house divided cannot stand. And so the more that we can, all the municipalities can come together and work together to be able to promote our area, I think is really important. And for it to be fair and equitable to all, it is really important as well. You know, the last meeting that we had here at Weston was really beneficial for us. We got to listen to some of the input on making some changes. Jamie Wyland was very helpful in pointing out a couple of kayak launches that weren't on our website. And so we're continuing to upgrade and make sure that listings are, you know, basically up to date. We found a little interesting glitch in our listings, like you probably have in Google, when you look up some things and it says Schofield in it. And so we noticed that with a few of our things too, that the old addresses are there. So we've been changing them to Weston as well. So yeah, we're committed to, you know, marketing all the attractions in the entire area to visitors so that we can, one, fill the hotels, Two, we can have them spend their money on local vendors, restaurants, bars, attractions. And we're here to help the area grow and to thrive, so.
Good.
That's it. I don't know if you have any
Any
questions.
questions for Tim? Anybody? Okay, thank you. Yeah, go
Are we
ahead.
gonna be updating, the literature, the handouts to, I guess, say less Rothschild, more Weston? Are we updating those at all?
Les Rothschild, I
But,
don't know if we.
yeah,
really-
did you show, I'm sorry, I didn't bring them, but the handouts, a lot of the handouts mention Rothschild in them.
What hand, are you talking about visitor guide?
Yeah,
Like the latest visitor guide doesn't have Rothschild at all, so.
it doesn't have it at all.
Okay, and I think the one you're talking was an older one, because the one I had didn't have that all in.
Yeah, and I apologize, I didn't bring them, but the last three that you gave us, including the one at the town hall.
Which one is that?
Mhm.
ISH Trail?
I would have to get back to you on that, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that we mentioned Weston.
Oh, yeah. The only place where Rothschild is mentioned is in the mapping area of the, you know, the overall all-around area for maps, but none of the listing. We don't have any Rothschild listings until, you know, we get into contract with them, so. But
And that's hopefully sooner than later, yeah.
yeah, we'd love it to be sooner.
Yep.
That outdoor rec guide though, you know, that is Marathon County, so that's all county parks and lands and that includes Rothschild too. That's, you know, that's not so much,
Okay.
that's a county guide, so that we just work with the county on.
I can be more specific. I can give you a call.
Yeah, give me a call or,
I apologize. I didn't
you,
bring it.
no, it's okay. Email me, whatever, and I'll definitely dig into it. So,
I know since the last meeting too, we brought up quite a few things from this board. And then in the next week or two, I kept seeing more and more stuff being added, the kayak launches, different
Yeah.
things. So,
well, and that's helpful too, because, you know, like Jamie, you were talking with the parks, I think with, who did you talk to? About updating the stuff on your own website too, and that's helpful too. So, you know, again, it's a continued conversation. We want to keep improving and getting better and better at our listings, and we're always open to any kind of insight. So the more you let us know, the better the whole area is going to be. So.
good. Okay. Any more questions? All right. What's your pleasure? Oh, go ahead. Okay.
No.
Number 6, CVB reports or acknowledge.
No motion to acknowledge.
Motion to acknowledge by Ermeling,
Second.
second by Zagami. Any more on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Nothing for educational presentations and reports. It's been thought that we should move old business behind new business. So why don't, if that's okay with the board, let's move to new business number 8. Grant request Wassamung New Year. Okay, just state your name and address for the record, please.
Long board, 32 Oakley Lebanon Drive in Weston, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you for giving me this time. I want to talk a little bit about the Walser Hmong New Year. I'm the vice president of it, and so I want to speak on just a bit of history and why I'm here today. So, and after that, if you have any questions, I can definitely open up for questions. The Walser Hmong New Year has been around for 40 years. So we started at the local YMCA in Wausau, and now it's at the Central Wisconsin Expo Center. Went from 300 people attending to about 6,000 people attending now. And so we're nonprofit organizations. All our fundings are through tickets out the door, through sponsors that would help us. And with high attendees, obviously resources is something that we need. And so we lack the funds to provide additional resources to help the organization. And so I'm here to request, see if we can get some grants to help us with that, with the Wasson New Year.
Okay. So, and I mean, in the past, it's been held at like DC Everest.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah, I want to say right before COVID,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was at DC Everest High School.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a fee.
That's a big deal. It's out at Rothschild. It's out at the convention
Yeah,
center.
so
right?
now it's at
Yeah.
the Central Wisconsin Expo Center.
Yep.
And the
Okay.
downtown.
And so you'll be asking, Wausau, you'll ask Rothschild, Rib Mountain, the same thing you're doing here.
Yeah,
correct?
we have an outside mountain, but yes.
And you're looking, I think I read somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000 attendees.
Correct, yes.
right? Okay, and
Yeah.
then so the summer games at the soccer fields.
Yeah, the Wausau Festival.
Yeah, the Wassa Festival, the big one. So
Yeah.
how many attend that normally?
I don't know, because I
Okay.
don't run that event.
Okay,
Yeah, so I don't run that event.
Jody, would you have a number, or Tim?
Yeah, it's like 14,000.
Okay, and that's what I thought too. I thought I saw some numbers, being up. It's, I know that's huge. So,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Okay, go ahead.
you said 81 rooms were booked for 2 nights at the Holiday Inn in
Correct.
Cedar Creek
Correct.
in Rothschild.
Yeah, so again, this is the first year that we are looking for grants and that we didn't know that we could book rooms ahead. And so that's something that we learned from last year, that we have 21 teams that participate in our dance competition. The New Year is a 2-day event. And last year we have a number of teams request to full hotels. And we didn't have any rooms blocked out or reserved at all. So this year is the first year that we kind of start doing that. And so we blocked rooms over at the Holiday Inn, American Inn by Wyndham off the highway here as well. So those are really the 2 places that we have worked with, that we blocked out the rooms.
So I think you have 40 at the American, so you have some at the Holiday Inn in Weston too?
Yes.
81.
Okay, and then again, you have some in Cedar Creek too.
Yeah.
Oh, Rothschild, that's in Rothschild, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
From the report, it just says 81 in Rothschild.
Rothschild, yeah,
And 38 at Motel 6.
which is in Rothschild too.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we don't have any in West.
it looks like not.
American Inn is where I booked, I blocked out 40 rooms. I haven't checked with them
Okay.
to see if there's any rooms that's booked.
Weston.
Again, we don't have, our history is that we have never blocked out rooms at all.
Mhm.
So it's something new for us and we don't know the exact number to see. We know that roughly half those people are coming from out of state, from Minnesota.
Okay.
And then half of them are from Wisconsin here. The way we know that is by the number of dance competitions teams that are coming in. This year we have 34 teams and 30 teams are coming from Minnesota. So we know that the large populations of attendees are going to be half and half from Minnesota. So they are going to be using the resources here. I've asked, the different teams, obviously, I've asked to see where they're booking the hotels at. They're not giving me the information. So I'm hoping that with Jody and Visit Wausau, that they can help me pull those numbers this year and identify where people are staying at. Obviously, we're pushing for them to stay locally and advertising to stay locally here. Right.
Okay,
Who's the president for West Area Month?
Jack, Longhua.
and just recently, right? Yes.
He's been the president for a while now, for I
Okay.
want to say close to 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he's on his position?
Yiling is the director and he's also, he's director of the Long American Center, but
Right.
Long is not. He used to be the president.
Okay, gotcha.
Can I ask how you got SPOTUS to come and speak at the Hmong?
So I'm the marketing chair as well. It's nonprofit, so we all volunteer our time. And so because of my involvement with doing the marketing, I go out, talk to solicit to businesses for sponsorship. And so that's how I was picked, is that I do a lot of the speaking to ask for funds.
Okay.
Now, this year, we don't have anything, so
Mhm.
I guess if for next year, I would like some information
Right.
as to how much we
We'll-
actually,
we'll-
Weston got of this.
We'll get a post event. I mean, well, it's because the organization asks for a certain amount, doesn't mean that that's always what we have to give. Sometimes we can give more, sometimes we can scale it back a little bit. Being at most of the rooms will probably be in Rothschild,
Mhm.
and we're trying to look at Weston, maybe we scale it back a little bit on the first year. I don't
I
know.
would.
That's up to the commission here to do as we do. And then next year he'll have a post event. You'll have
Absolutely.
some history.
Yeah.
And we'll see where this goes, and
Cool.
maybe it's at that same location, maybe it's at the Everest, the Green Heck Turner.
Correct, yeah, so
we
we
don't
are
know.
looking for venues that will accommodate us, and that's the key thing, is that,
Yep.
with the world going on here, obviously safety is the number one
Yep,
priority.
yep.
So, this year we'll have a better tracking systems,
Yeah.
we are renting, metal detector that with people walking through, we be able to detect how many numbers of people are coming through, so we'll have a better number and, obviously with the visit will also helping us as well with email, with being able to call us the statistics. Next year, I will be able to provide, better information, better statistics for,
When is the date on this again?
November 9th and 10th.
Right, it's coming up pretty quick. Okay, good.
I
Mhm.
guess I would move to approve the grant request for 2,500 to the Wausau Area Hmong New Year Inc. for 2024 Wausau Hmong New Year.
All right, we have a motion on the floor from Ermeling for $2,500. Is there a second? Is there a second? Is there a second? Motion fails. I'll entertain another motion.
I'll move to approve grant request for 4,500.
4,500?
Right.
Okay.
A little bit less, but I think that make it up the next year.
Okay.
For
So-
Wausau Area Hmong New Year's Inc. for 2024, Wausau Hmong New Year's.
For 4,500.
Correct.
So a motion on the table by Zagami for $4,500 for the 24 event this November. I'm looking for a second. I'm looking for a second. I will make that second. So motion's on the floor for $4,500 for this year. Motion by Zagami, second by Maloney, on the discussion.
I just think we don't have any information
Mhm.
because it's the first year that I just think that until we know
Mhm.
what it is,
Mhm.
that's,
Well, I agree with that thought, that they've never come to a commission for the money. But they've had this celebration for well over 40 years, 4 decades. When I was running the grocery store at Pick and Save at Boucher's, it was a huge event, huge. And I remember a lot of the dancers would actually come through the store, picking up some last things, and it was quite a sight to see the way their dress up is. So, and I've been to the event several times too. So it's been in other places. Probably didn't have the wherewithal to know that you could go to commissions and ask for money. And here you are today, but you're gonna be asking other ones too, so. So any more discussion?
I think until we know,
Mhm.
that the money is coming back to Weston,
Mhm.
and there's going to be beds on heads here, I'm with Barb on that.
Okay. All right, any more discussion? Hearing no more
Beds on
discussion.
beds, sorry.
Yeah, you said it right, yeah. So all those in favor say aye. Aye. You said
Oh,
aye?
I'm sorry, no.
Okay, so we have Husheng aye, I'm aye, you're a no, you have to vote. Mhm,
Pressure's on you.
mhm. It's tough. It's kind of like the kicker at the Packers. It's the first time you had a kick. So just to help a little bit here. So our monies, we try to keep it more in Weston, but yet we do other things. We do the Taste and Glow, we do other events. We've done Monk Botanical Gardens, we've done other events. I know we're gonna have a request this year from Wisconsin Valley Fair that's held in Marathon Park. So our money does move around, like other communities do the same thing. But their comment was that they'd like to know more about how Weston is getting some of it back.
I think
So
I agree with that.
Okay, so that's, I didn't mean to slant you, but so, cause we do move the money around. But your first vote, I didn't want you just hanging there wondering how you're gonna do it. So with that, you're a no vote. Okay, so now we're a 2-3 failed again. I'll entertain one more motion.
Jamie, what would you?
Mhm.
I would make a motion to approve maybe 1,000. at this
Okay.
point.
Are you making a motion of that?
Yes.
So a motion by Wyland for $1,000 for this year. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ermeling. Any more on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed?
No,
No? Okay. So it's a 4-1 and it passes, so $1,000. And we'll see you here next year.
Yeah.
Okay,
let's
all right.
see. Got
Sounds
more
good.
information for
Yep.
us and
Okay,
that would be
so,
helpful.
yep, you bet. Thank you. Let's see, grant request, Wisconsin USBC Open Championships. Dale? Talking about heads and beds, here we go.
It's Weston Lanes, 5902 Schofield Avenue. Just to let you know, we just finished up our Bowl Fest that you guys graciously gave us money to, and you'll be seeing my, report here in a couple of days. Everything but the weather turned out really good for us. The weather was very, very against us. So, everything else seemed out like it, went according to schedule. So the USBC tournament, this is the big tournament. 16 weekends, 10,000 bowlers plus spectators. We figure about 700 rooms per weekend, which I figure is about $1.568 million in revenue. In the past, they used to ask for $7 room rebate from every hotel room that they had. And obviously, everybody knows that people are booking around blocks and they're booking through Expedia and all kinds of things. So they basically came to us and said, we need $18,000 in host hotel money, $5,000 in host rate fee. So we've been trying to collect $23,000. So our ask for Weston was 10,000. My ask for the Sports Authority, which you guys give money to, is 10,000, which is pending until I meet with them next Thursday. Obviously I went to Rothschild because they're gonna obviously get some rooms also. Wausau, Rim Mountain and Schofield for smaller amounts. Cover the magazine was one of the things that we were gonna use because Wausau asked us to do it through marketing and not through other things. So that was one of the ideas with the marketing idea. We just went live on the hotel site last week about Thursday. Well, what was your meeting, Kim? Wednesday? Last week, Wednesday, we went live.
Yeah.
So people are starting to book rooms obviously already. And starts January 18th, runs every weekend, even through Easter, until the first weekend in May. So we've been in contact with the Hotel Association, and between now and the next 12 or 13 days, I think I'm gonna see everybody, all the municipalities, for our ask.
Good, awesome. I think you do a super job, and talking about heads and beds, you certainly prove it every single time.
Yep.
And I don't, honestly, I don't think you get enough credit for it sometimes, so,
This one puts heads and beds.
yep, big time. So,
Yeah, that your parking lot is
Yep, yeah.
absolutely full every time.
any questions for
I'm
Dale?
gonna have to be doing that pretty soon too, come in
Yeah.
ask for more parking space.
Yeah, there you go. Any questions? What's your pleasure?
I moved, okay, Jane, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'll move to approve the grant request of $10,000 to Dale's Weston Lanes for the Wisconsin USBC Open Championships.
So a motion by Wyland to approve 10,000, second by Ermeling. Any more on the questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
Thank you.
Good job. Congratulations. Keep it up. Number 10, grant request, Badger State Figure Skating. Anybody here? Okay. Skate up to the podium.
Dawn Johnson,
Excuse me.
2061 Gary Lee Drive in Cronin Letter, Wisconsin.
Their strippers, it's 905 9th Street. I was gonna
Okay.
get work.
Yeah. Both.
Yeah.
Yep, so we are here today asking for a $5,000 grant. We host a premier event for Badger State Games, the figure skating in Mosinee, Wisconsin. It's a 4-day event that brings people from all over the state. We open it to Minnesota, we're opening it up to Illinois this year. In the UP, yep, in the Upper Peninsula, Michigan. So the event takes place, we would like to use it for marketing, for like bags for participants, show them where to go. Give them some local things that they can do. And other things.
We go to a lot of the restaurants all around
Mhm.
this whole area and try to get them if they have coupons, 10% discounts, things like that. We do work with them for food also for our officials.
Officials, yep. We bring 30 to 40 officials in from all over the nation.
But the goodie bags are really, the families really appreciate them, the kids appreciate them, and almost all of our skaters are in about 3 events at least.
Yeah,
So
at least.
they're never usually all in one day, so a lot of times they're always staying over.
Yeah.
And every year, I've run this event for about the last 10 years.
Yeah. it's been a long time.
And every year I get questions, where can I stay? I can't find a room that's open, you know, so I do throughout the time, we finish our registration in December and our event's the end of January. I do call around just to check and see if anybody has rooms, because that is kind of a struggle. So it is usually booked anywhere from Merrill all the way to Point, everything in between. You cannot find a room to stay, so.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where do you holding the event?
So we're holding it at the Mosany Recreational Center.
So that's the sheet, that's the sheet of ice that you're using?
That's the sheet of ice that we're using, correct?
That's the only place available to you?
Correct, yeah. We're sanctioned through the United States Figure Skating Association, so we have to host events on our home ice.
Yeah.
So I know the Green Heck Turner is gonna come up as a question. In order to do that, that would have to be our home ice, and it is not, so we are not able to.
You can't use another club's
Club-
ice
club's
for an
ice.
event like
Mhm.
that.
So there's another club at Greenheck,
There's a Timberline.
Timberlights, yep,
Yep.
and I just couldn't get it.
Yep,
I
yep,
just-
yep, that's okay.
They skate at Green Heck and at Wausau.
Yep.
Okay, yep,
Marathon,
okay.
So they have both of the rinks.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're both of these.
We have hosted this event for 20 years in
Mhm.
Mosany. It's been a long time in Mosany. It's a
Mhm.
well-established, well-oiled machine, so we have great commissioners that have done it for years. Everybody works with everybody in the community. It's not,
Mhm.
it's definitely a community-based thing, because we are, just like any club, it's small, and so you need the community to pitch in to help everybody,
Yeah.
so.
But with
So-
that being said, I'm sure you guys are aware that there's only 2 hotels in Mosany.
Right.
We basically book the one of them for the judges, so athletes don't have an option to stay in Mosany with us, because out of the 54 rooms that are at the Cobblestone, we book about 30 of those.
There's 54 rooms there?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That seems like a lot.
That's what their website
Yeah.
says.
I believe it,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
get
yeah, we
30 of
book at least 30 of them.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they need to come to Rothschild, Schofield, Weston, you know, like we said, they start trickling into Wausau.
So, well, the history of our commission in the last 3 years, what has this commission given?
We have not asked.
Okay, so
No, we
I
have
just wondered.
always self-funded this
Okay.
before.
Okay.
Since the pandemic, you know, obviously you can see from the event participation and statistics that I put in your packet.
Mhm.
Obviously, participation had dropped down since COVID. We are starting to see those COVID numbers come back up.
Yeah.
So with the participation going down, obviously, you guys are all familiar with budgets. We had to budget and we had to start getting rid of things. So things like the participation bags, the t-shirts, those have all gone away since 2020. So now we would like to bring those back.
Hushain, you have a question?
Mosany is not part of our tourism.
No, but I mean, we want to be neighbors to, I mean, Mosany, yeah, I like Merrill, I guess, but Mosany's closer.
Well, I just.
I know, I would agree, I would agree, that's a tough one, yeah,
Mosany does give us also tourism commission dollars
yep.
for,
yeah.
every year, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I would think Rothschild would too, you know,
Yeah,
so,
we have never asked anybody
Yeah.
other than Mosany. We have
Okay.
never asked.
are you
Okay.
asking Rothschild?
Yes,
Mhm.
and Schofield as well.
Yeah.
Rothschild, I do not have the grant in yet. It's due November 15th, so I will get it in. I have pretty much it all written up.
Yeah.
I just need to submit it, but I wanted to make sure I got Weston and Schofield done because you guys were due before
Yeah.
everybody else's. But yes, I will be.
Yeah, have you tried like booking rooms for your skaters or?
There's over 500
What do you call
skaters.
that, you know? when
Yeah.
you-
I did send out emails on October 11th to the four is it or 5, Joey? 4 hotels in the Weston area. Number one, to try to get numbers, like I would assume that some of their bookings probably already happened, because if they don't book now, they're probably not going to get a room. So I'm waiting to hear back from the hoteliers, but I will follow up with them and see if we
That
can.
would- Yeah, that would be my concern is
Yep.
how much of these, again, are coming to Weston.
Mhm.
And we don't
Yeah.
have any numbers
Right.
because of
We
course
would
you
love
have
those
it.
numbers
We
too.
would love them too.
Yeah, yeah.
To me, if
Yeah.
maybe, if say we grant some and you come back next year, that you have some of
Yeah, those
those.
numbers, yeah.
Yep, yep.
Good.
And one of the part of the grant too that I believe I put on one page is that the participants for any of the municipalities that give tourism dollars, we will put a blast out with all the hotels within your municipality that say, you know, please please solicit our sponsors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Saturday night, we have a huge event, it's our St. Bro event, there's 23 teams that were there last year.
Mhm.
Every team has about 15 kids on it,
Mhm.
so it's more than packed. All of those kids also skate in multiple events besides that, so
Right.
we do fill all of the rooms
Mhm.
that we can find.
Yeah.
We do have it hooked with Tim for Badger State games, so he does have a lot of hotels listings on there.
Okay. What's your pleasure?
Well,
Can I
Try it
I
again.
have seen pickup
Mhm.
Yes, Kim seen it.
at
Thank you,
the,
Kim.
at the Express already for this
Mhm.
event.
And no offense against the hoteliers, I know they don't like to give out their numbers, but we would really like to know, like, if you're bumped, like, you know, if you see a 75% or.
Our registration hasn't opened yet this year either, so once registration opens, you'll start to see more of those numbers. And then our registration closes about Christmas time.
Tim?
And one of the things we're gonna do too, we have this book direct thing on our website. We're gonna put it on our Badger State Games page too, so that people will be able to book right off the registration page too. So
Okay.
we're gonna do that shortly.
Good.
You said you've gotten,
We have a little bit of pickup already, and
Yeah.
like they said, registration isn't even open
Hasn't even
yet,
opened.
Yeah.
so. I
So-
don't anticipate.
We literally get emails like a couple weeks after the event ended last year to know what the weekend is that we're
Right,
having
sure,
it
yeah.
this year, so they can already plan.
We do get, and we get a lot of big teams from the southern part of the state too, so they're all staying.
What are you asking Mosney?
7,500,
Okay.
and they give us that annually. Yep.
Okay.
How about Rothschild?
I will
This will
ask
be their
Rothschild for
first.
5,000 as well.
This will be your first though of Rothschild?
Yes.
Your first ask? Okay.
Yep. First ask with Rothschild, first ask with you, first ask with Schofield.
Okay,
We might see remote in there, we'll see.
yeah, they got some nice hotels too.
Yeah, I mean,
Rothschild is closer to Mosinee,
Yeah,
so that makes
yeah.
more sense
yep,
there.
yep.
I guess I would be okay with approving half of the ask at this point.
Okay, so I have a motion on the floor from Commissioner Wyland for $2,500. Is there a second by Ermeling? Any more on the question? Hearing no more on the question, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? So carried. Okay.
Thank you.
and next year, if you got the stats.
Any kind of history or any kind of stats, work with
Yeah.
Jody.
Yeah, the
with
only
the
thing that we
CVP.
had
Yep.
this year was the stats of like what we had for participants and, but yeah, I mean, definitely work with hotels.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 are all post events. So is there somebody here for that? Or no? Jordan?
I'm sorry.
I will post event for Among Wassa Festival, post event for Wings Over Wassa, post event Taste and Glow, post event Wassa Pride, and post event DC Everest Youth Baseball.
At least two, because
Oh, okay.
West area events is
Good.
here, if you had any questions.
Excellent, no, good. Ally, yeah. I am beyond excited about getting that fence up and having beer gardens out there. So this is Wassa events.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
Ally, I'm the executive director for Ross Events. I just wanted, a lot of my stuff is in the report that I provided. So if you had any questions on that, but I just wanted to say thank you. 2024 was an extremely rough year for us for weather for all of our events. And we were one of the only organizations that did not actually fully cancel our event. We still proceeded and tried to power through, and all of us, were out there in the pouring rain every single day, just trying to make something happen for the public. We were able to get off, multiple aircraft throughout the evening. They just had to fly lower and decrease the stunts that they were able to do, but the fireworks show did happen each evening. And so it did really just create a great atmosphere, especially Saturday morning. We still held our 5K in the pouring rain. None of the runners complained. Everybody that was there was happy, excited. We had different branches of the military all participating. And so it was just a really fun event and something that makes my job really rewarding when you go through all that work and you're able to persevere like we did. So I was really proud that we didn't have to full out cancel. We did end up getting rid of the gate admission and just making it a free event because we wanted people to just come out and join us in the rain and experience what we were able to provide. A lot of our food vendors still had business and great feedback, and we did still book multiple hotels because we do have multiple pilots for the event. Some of them are here for 10 days or longer. For this event, so I did provide some of those statistics in there for you guys too, but I just really wanted to say thank you, and I'm really looking forward to holding meetings with people here at the village on future Weston events. So,
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
yeah, thanks.
Okay. Let's see. Now move back to old.
Do we take a motion to just acknowledge?
Oh,
the-
sure, let's do that. Motion to acknowledge 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15.
Second.
Second by Zagami. Any more on the question? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? So carried. Isn't this getting easy, Kim? Right? Yeah, see, I told you.
They're not asking for
Yeah.
anything.
There we go. Number 7, old business, discussion and or action on updated tourism entity agreement with the Wassa CVB.
So there was a draft included in the packet. It was revised with Attorney Edie, and then it was sent out, and any changes that were proposed from that being sent out to the commission are noted in track changes. So the agreement would begin January 1, 2025. And it would still have to go through village
Village board,
board for
yeah.
approval, so. Just looking up
And
for
then,
discussion tonight on what
yep.
was in the packet.
And I'm just trying to identify a few key points. What is the term on this?
This is a 1-year agreement. This would be
Okay.
for 1 year.
1 year.
We could have it for more than 1 year, but it is drafted right now as a 1 year.
Okay.
To see how it
And some of
goes.
the changes I've seen is the percentage was changed down to
It would be 30%.
30% versus 43 3/4. And whatever amount we agree on, it's not gonna be switched and changed around with what all the different things that were last time. So it had some going for the sports authority, some going for this, some going for that. I guess not, I mean, so the sports authority, I mean, has any of that money been used at all? Now, Dale, you said that you're requesting 10 of that from the whole sports authority, not just ours, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I guess I don't know if all of us understand how some of that works. So we thought that, if we do 43 or 40 or 35 or 30, we just want it all, and then it's yours to use. The 30% off the top is for every municipality to use as they wish, and then that inside piece is used for events. Jody?
I just wanted to explain that on the quarterly reports and year-end reports,
Mhm.
The sports authority will be reflected in our financials under 612, which is the grant expense.
Okay,
So last year was about, I want to say 52,000 around there. And this year we're a little over 40,000 that we've issued out.
okay.
So those grants requests come in, they have an application for them, and then they go to our board of directors
Mhm.
for them to approve or.
So, but that's still, it was still inside the 43.75. So to us, that's your money.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, all right. So, okay. Any other any highlights that people have seen through here? If you want to bring something up,
No, I had kind of questioned Jamie about something, but,
okay. Where are we with Rothschild?
Well, what we're at is.
I mean, the last meeting I was at, we were there in support of Rothschild and the whole CVB. My understanding was that the CVB was gonna offer a contract back to Rothschild. Has that happened?
Not yet, because that's.
The board has to meet first.
Board has to meet, yeah.
The board has to meet yet, okay. And that's gonna happen when?
We did have a meeting on September 26th, and it was on our agenda.
Mhm.
Greg Fisher, our board president, gave a brief update about that meeting. Due to timing of our schedule of the meeting, the discussion has been tabled to our next meeting, which will be October 31st.
Oh, this month, okay, good. Okay, so I don't think we're under any pressure to finish this tonight. Or
No, we would have to have a meeting in December. We should
Right.
have a meeting in December regardless, because we had some winter events and we just didn't want to pack all of
Right,
that into this meeting. But I think if not ready to make a motion, staff would be looking for some additional feedback about how would this document need to be adjusted so we could bring you the most final, because it
Right.
would have to go to commission and board that
Mhm.
night in order for January 1 implementation.
Great.
Feel that out until after October
Yeah.
31st.
We could. Greg? Do you have anything to comment on the,
This is a proposed draft, correct?
right,
Okay, are we gonna get this?
I'm sorry?
Are we gonna get this document to look over before?
Oh,
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
was provided as part of the
It-
packet.
it's out there now. Yeah, it's out there since Wednesday. I mean, you just made a comment about levels. And I didn't know if you were prepared to talk about that yet or after October
No, I think
31st.
it's something that we need to discuss at our
Okay,
board meeting.
okay.
And, you know,
All
that's
right.
just a topic that
Mhm.
we've, a couple
Yeah.
of us have talked about internally, but it needs to be presented to our entire full
Yeah.
board.
But- Mhm.
In terms of, overall presentation and, I think that with this proposal, we need to review it and kind of give you a level of what we can and cannot do with the percentages that you guys are putting forth. And that goes to across the board with all the municipalities in this area.
Okay.
We have to take into account all the funding that's coming in, and what kind of budget that we could put together, and what kind of proposals and marketing program that we could put forth. Just like regular business, like mine, coming off of a really bad winter, we look at ways that we, put things together for the following year. With the amount of money that we have, so I think we'll have to kind of all put this together and see what we can do.
Well, I guess my question or my some of the thoughts over the last couple of years was at our rate that we were doing at 43 with others at 37 and maybe even one lower, I can't remember. My whole thought was to be at 35. And I know this comes in at 30, and I would actually ask this commission to go to do 35. I think 35 is fair. And not that we want any money back, but I think 35 is fair to start with. But then also it has to have Rothschild involved. It just has to, because that was my whole thing at the Rothschild meeting, was the both communities in at 35, and if they're at 35 or 30, that's 65 or possibly 70% of two communities versus one at 43.75. And now we're talking more dollars for the CVB. So with Rothschild included, there's a little bit more work probably, but
Mark,
yeah.
can I speak on that?
Sure.
I mean, to all due respects to the Village West.
Can we have you come up to the podium?
Yeah,
It's
that's
gonna
okay.
project a lot better for the
Yeah, Greg
recording.
Fisher. He's
So my
the,
name is Greg Fisher, I'm the
President,
president of the CVB. I'm also the GM of Granite Peaks here. That's what I was referring to for the winter, for those of you who don't know. In terms of Rothschild, I understand where this board is coming from. You guys obviously have a very strong relationship with the village or town of Rothschild.
Village.
But you can't speak on their behalf. Like we have to work with them to bring them onto the table. We are working on contracts with them. We are working on proposals. It's not gonna happen overnight. And as much as I would love to have Rothschild in tomorrow, that's just not gonna happen. Because we have to continue to work forward. Myself, other board members have met with Rothschild, Tim has met with Rothschild. It is a progress that is being put forth. We are meeting hopefully with the hoteliers of Rothschild here in the next couple of weeks. But we can't be put on notice that if Rothschild doesn't join, this is gonna be a kind of a verbatim of sorts. It consistently is coming up, and we're here on behalf of the CVB to meet with the Village of Weston.
I agree with you, but I don't know what else to do because it's been 2 years. I know you say overnight, Greg, but we've been talking about this. I mean, I've been talking with Tim for well over 2 years. I've offered my assistance for 15, 16 months. Not once has there been a meeting. And I've talked to Ryan. That's just now we did. I've been talking to Rothschild and Ryan and George Peterson for a year. And there's just nothing going on. There's no meetings, no nothing.
Roadblocks.
Well,
And it's something
I've
that
offered to
we-
help. Mhm.
And we're very thankful for that.
Mhm. You need them on and we need them on. This whole area needs them in.
I understand that.
Okay.
Rothschild has to make its own decisions.
Sure. I agree.
So if Rothschild makes decisions that they choose to go one way, what is it to me to say that? To make that's their decision. as their municipality.
Mhm.
We are trying and continue to work with them, to meet with them. I've spent time outside of my own work to meet with them.
Okay.
We are working towards it, Mark.
Mhm.
And I tell all of you board members that we are working towards it.
Mhm.
And I value that you've met with them for the last 2 years. We have too. I mean, not with you, but with them. So I continue to come into Village of Weston. I'm a resident here
Mhm.
and constantly hear about Rothschild. We're here on behalf of the CVB and the Village of Weston.
Mhm.
And we hear what you're saying, Mark. We do. Go ahead, Jamie.
Yeah, if they need to, you know, hold up to their end too. I did find the text messages that I sent to you in regards to the printouts, but you're continuously advertising for Rothschild at $0. Why would they want to pay any money when you're advertising for
We're
$0?
not doing.
Oh, absolutely.
Small things.
No, not small things, a lot of things, a lot of things. And I will sit down with you and I will point them all out. And I have text message, I took screenshots and I sent them to Mark. I will sit down with you. I can't even count how many.
Okay, so, and by giving.
I will send them to you.
So in terms of,
Why would
You
they want
want
to pay
us-
anything when they're getting something for free?
Okay.
and you're talking about a website,
No, I'm not talking about a website. I'm talking about these printouts.
paper,
Okay, one part of it, yes.
okay, there are bigger things that we're doing regarding that. How are we
But you're
supposed
still
to?
doing that.
What's that?
You're still doing that though, for free.
Correct.
Why?
Because we're trying to extend olive branches. You want us to work with
Well,
Rothschild?
then use that and sell them.
We
Whoa,
have.
whoa. What?
Well, you use.
No. What'd you just say?
We have.
We have.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry. I thought I caught something else. Did you?
I thought I caught a honey.
I thought I caught honey. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
Yeah, honey is
I'm not-
extremely disrespectful. I was damn sure I heard it, actually.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I.
You know, we got the purse strings here, Greg. I know in your everyday job, you got the purse strings, but here at this setting, we do. I'm feeling like a little bit that we're getting talked down to right now. And I'm gonna tell you right now, 2.5 years, you could sit there and do the whole hum and put your hands on your hips. I'm used to it with Tim a little bit, but you're actually a little more reckless. I'm gonna tell you something, 2.5 years with Rothschild, I would be ashamed if it's taken this long, seriously. And if that meeting hasn't taken place since the last time we met in Rothschild, wow, somebody doesn't care. So I'm done. We don't need to continue this. This doesn't have to get this way. I'm fine, and they will make their own decision, and then I'm gonna have to live with it. And yes, it'll just be Weston and the CVB. We wanna be with the CVB.
And I get
Mhm.
where
Yep.
that's where we're trying to go, Mark.
Mhm.
You and I have met.
Yep.
You've met with Tim, we've met with various other board members.
I'm just trying to put some pressure on.
You, trust me, that is being felt every time.
Okay.
Like I said, that meeting that you asked for has happened numerous times.
Okay.
You can ask Brian.
Mhm.
We met with Dave Prula as well from the marketing team.
If they tell me to back off, I will. That's my next meeting with them. And we have a lot of synergies happening across the board.
And that is wonderful.
And I'm gonna
because
ask them point blank, do you want me to help or assist? And if they wanna do this alone, I will acknowledge that and let it go. And I don't want this to become between us.
It's not.
Yeah, and well, I feel like it is.
I walked away, you know, from my own afternoon today with my staff to make sure that I was here. Because I feel like it's an imperative thing that we all work together and we're trying our best, Mark.
Okay.
And I say this to all of you, to work with the Village of Rothschild. And it's taking time. There are funds that, you know, small amounts of money that have been discussed with the Village of Rothschild. And we're trying to get to a level of what you said, 35%. They're not even coming close to that in their negotiations. Can you admit that?
Oh, I know that. Yeah,
Right.
I know that. They want to test the waters. They want to feel it. Yep. They've not felt so good over the last, probably decade.
Well, I haven't been here for that decade.
I know that. I'm not saying you. I'm saying prior Tim. So,
I think that as an organization, we have been working towards helping in that regards of getting this organization back into the good graces. We're trying to set standards. We're trying to put, you know, things in place. We've rebuilt the website. We've put into the visitor's guide. These are stepping stones that are all taking place, and structure. We have a staff again. These are things that have happened over the last couple of years.
Okay.
But they continue to move forward. And we want Rothschild on. We want more than Rothschild.
Mhm.
It would be great to work with Mosinee and Merrill and other areas. This is a greater Wausau region. This is a huge area and has a lot of outdoor and tons of potential.
good. Good to go.
If I misspoke, I'm sorry to
We're good.
have anybody be disrespected, but I don't really think I said anything out of line.
Okay. Any questions?
No,
No?
thank you.
None? Okay, good. Thank you, Greg. And you want to just, why don't we,
You wanna just walk through it a little bit?
yeah, if you want to,
Yeah.
but let's make sure that alone we forward this whole contract to them. To Greg, to the board, to Jody, to Tim, just so that they don't have to peel it out of the packet. I mean, if you don't mind.
Can we agree on that percentage, 35%?
Sure,
And just
sure,
stay with it,
Sure,
please.
yeah, that's fine. So if you want to walk through some of the highlights, go ahead.
The first part of the agreement just states that we collect room tax so that it's an 8% room tax and that we would be providing it to the commission. And then we go through the definitions in the agreement on what all of the terms mean. We did talk at the last meeting on purpose of within this agreement that it would be for tourism promotion and tourism development, which benefits the village, but isn't necessarily in the village. So that change was made throughout the agreement. It's divided the 70-30 that's set by statute, that of the 70% that's forwarded to the CBB, 30%,
So you're at B, so B would go to 35.
35.
And then
That'll be
the rest
change,
of, the rest
35.
of the red would all be crossed out as it is.
Yep, so we wouldn't be,
Mhm.
right now we do that separate
Mhm.
between sports authority and meetings mean business now. So that would go away.
Mhm.
Isn't it striked at 30 right now?
Yes,
It's at 30.
but I'm moving, I'm just saying to go to 35 and we can vote on that. Yeah, okay,
I'd like to go to 25.
yep, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so,
And that would change C, right? That percentage,
C
right?
would then go to 35 instead of 40. Yep,
Depending on where we ended up, that
Yep.
would alter that. Again, for tourism promotion and development, which benefits the village but wouldn't have to be in the village.
Mhm.
CVB responsibilities, that they would have an annual meeting. That was from the prior agreement, that they would do the administrative support of making sure that there was tourism and promotion. That also was part of the village. This does state that for the grants, that there would be a 30 days before they would have a report, an after action report back in. I think it's a slightly longer time frame now. I think it's 60 days. This would move it to 30 days in the agreement. Trustee Pincinel did propose, I have his email included in the packet, but that if the report is not provided within 30 days, failure to provide that report would mean repayment back into the Weston Tourism Commission room tax account. That accounting is provided to the Tourism Commission, the Village Board, and the Finance Department. That's very similar to what we have now. Those documents are provided. I think this just more clearly spells out where they're gonna be sent. Under compliance, it would be that the CVB would place any item that was awarded a grant from the Tourism Commission on the website and would help to advertise it through their respective networks, and that they would make every effort to stay up to date and monitor in all of their print materials and website the directory of businesses, attractions, and amenities within the village. This complete transparency is similar to the last agreement, but that agendas are posted, that they're sent to the village clerk, that the names of the contacts are on their website. And then trustee Zagami had asked that the position be maintained on the CVB board for a Village of Weston representative that would be appointed by the village president and confirmed by the board. The room tax delinquencies, again, that was similar to the last agreement, the term 1 year, we've already discussed that. And then termination for cause within the 30 days, which we had that, when we talked about that at the previous meeting, because we only meet quarterly, that's just something that with a termination of 30 days, we would want to stay aware of. The legalese and signatures.
Okay, and then that'll get sent over. You have your hand up? Oh, okay. Any questions?
I was gonna ask too if trustee Pincinel, because you had your document in the packet, just to make sure that we covered everything, that there wasn't anything else you wanted to add.
Yeah, I think it looks good. Some of the wording changed a little bit, but I'm not attorney, he is, so I assume you work with him, or this is gonna go to him before he approves it, right? So, yeah, I think most of the stuff was covered in there or at least mentioned, so thank you.
Okay. Barb?
Yeah, I guess I just, on the item 5B, as far as,
5B.
well, where the, I think it was, oh, I just, my
Page 3.
thing, just where we're talking about when they have to submit a report and you've got 30 days, and that if they don't do it within that 30 days, that we're gonna ask for the money back. And I guess I just think sometimes it's hard to get all the numbers together in such a short time. And I would think if we're gonna be, I guess I'm not sure, I would rather have it that we wouldn't allow future requests rather than asking for the money back, but I would prefer a 60-day over 30 to give them
I
a
think that's
little more
reasonable.
time to.
That's reasonable.
60 days and it would influence future requests
Yes,
for funding.
yes.
Okay.
I think it'd be hard just trying to get it back. They spend it over the goods, get it back.
Can I ask you a question about that too?
Go ahead, Tim.
So one of the things I was wondering, so we have to report in 30 days or 60 days if it is. What if, because you offer a grant to somebody, they drop the ball and don't report and we can't get the information from them, then CDB's on the hook for paying it back because we can't get them to report?
No, it wouldn't be a payback.
No, mine said it would result in a future request that we wouldn't.
All from
Yeah.
that.
Yes, it would be too hard to get it.
It's
money
too hard to
back.
claw that back.
Yeah, okay.
And it would
I wasn't sure.
certainly never fall in your lap.
Okay,
Yeah.
this one.
Okay, if we had that condition. Okay,
My suggestion was 60 days, so it
Mhm.
allowed more
a little bit
time,
more time.
and then future requests.
Were we done? Jim, did you finish your stuff?
Yeah, I think I had in there too, I didn't see it, but that everyone actually uses the same form. Cause we get all kinds of wild stuff with purple graphs and weird unicorn stuff that shows up in here that I have no idea how to read. Dale does a super job of actually taking the form that's there and filling in the boxes that are there with actual real life data that makes sense to you, cause it's on our form, not some weird off the wall, we make up our own report as we go. So I'd love to see it actually like use the actual report that we submitted to each, or that we give you the blank, just fill in the dot blanks.
Just so it's consistent.
Yeah.
And then we get,
We know what we're looking at, when
Yep.
I'm reinventing the wheel every time.
Okay,
And mostly for the post report is what you're talking about, not necessarily the grant, but the
For
post.
the application, take the application, fill in the boxes like it were a job application, like fill in actual application stuff, and then when you're done, take our after action report and just fill in the boxes. I don't know, is it hard, Dale? No. Okay, thank you.
okay.
I think as a commission too, when we're having the conversation with applicants, we can also just reiterate that, like, as a condition of getting the money, you are expected to do a post report and
Right.
it's due within 60 days, and if you don't, it would influence future.
I think from several years ago to where we are now, we're getting that, it's becoming more consistent. And people are understanding that that's what's expected. So, good. Okay. So I think, do we have this go one more time, or do you wanna take a stab at approving it here
I would take a
right
stab
now?
at it.
Okay. So what's your pleasure?
Okay, now,
Approve with the change.
Yeah, with, you state the changes though. So what are your changes, Hushain? To go from 30 to 35 and then go from 40 to 35 on our able to be used in the area, right? Okay,
Well, if you
Just
want
state
to
that.
hold, do you think that we should go down to 25 and then once Rothschild engages, we can increase it to back to 30?
I'm gonna, I've actually got some emails going on right now with Ryan. He's coming back to me. So I'm gonna have a chat with him tomorrow and well, you know, I can't, I gotta make sure that I'm not pushing him either in his group. Because I might have a sense that I am pushing him a little bit, so. Okay. So yeah, I know it ain't a bad thing, but I can be quite a stinker sometimes.
So
Okay.
I apologize, trustee Zagami, I heard 35 and 35.
In 60 days.
60 days would influence future grant requests.
right,
And and we can add something to say that the post report and grant application must be
It's
used.
to be expected, yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I guess I'd like to move to table this until after October 31st.
Well, we got a motion on the table right now first. All right,
Okay, and I got a
we're waiting
second.
for us. Okay, we got a second. So we have a motion on the table by Zagami, a second by Ermeling. And we're moving the CVB money from 30 to 35 from what the changes were. We're moving the money in our account to give out to events from 40 to 35, which now balances it to 70-30. The first 30 comes to the municipality. We've got expectations on post-event. We have a 60-day time frame to getting it back. Am I missing one more?
future requests.
And it will affect future requests if the post-event is not followed up on. Okay, so is that near your, okay, so that's, we have a motion and a second on the table. Any more on the question? Kim, do you have any questions? No? Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
I'm an aye. I'm not, I don't want to put any pressure on you.
Sure.
Okay, so would you rather, can she
Abstain.
abstain?
She could abstain.
And your reasoning for abstaining is your new.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. No, that's fine. I think that's fair. So it would pass 3-1 with one abstain, okay? But is this coming back, well, it's coming back to the board.
It would go to the
It goes to the board.
board next
And
month.
will it go to the board now or will it come back to the
No, it
commission?
would go to the board now
It
with the
will.
changes.
Okay, all right. All right,
If I may,
Yep.
so as Greg said, this is a negotiation between this contract, it's not just Weston setting it, so like Greg said, this has to go to our board.
yes,
So we'll put it on our agenda,
yep,
give you back any changes that we have, if any, to
Mhm.
this, and then it could come back to you before it would go to the board for finalizing,
correct.
right?
Yep,
So it wouldn't go to the board until our November meeting. So the next time it would be November 18th. That it would be seen by the Board of Trustees. If it could be added to your October 31st meeting, then we wouldn't have a gap after the first of the year.
Tomorrow, so the agenda, so.
okay, good.
And I can have those changes made fairly quickly in the document and then get it sent over. Can I send it to Jody and she can forward it on?
Thanks.
Okay.
And then I have a request of you, Tim, since you've been on board, what, 2-3 years?
3 years.
3 years?
Last Friday.
Could I get a synopsis of all the municipalities on what they've been paying?
Yep.
Okay, because we've been 43.75 the entire duration.
Yep. You want it
45.
right now?
Yeah, no, I just would like it in a email or letterhead if you want.
Okay.
Share it with your board and share it with us. That'd be great. But just all the municipalities, what each has been paying every year.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, anything else? For the record, you're with
Oh, I'm Jamie Colley, I'm the.
Marathon County
president of
Parks,
the-
Rec, yep, okay. I thought so, I just wasn't sure, so, thank you. Let's see. Post remarks from, okay. So that's done, so let's go to remarks from committee members or commission members. Kim, welcome aboard. Any remarks? Yep, thank you. No, okay. You're still with us, right? You're not gonna leave? You're staying with us. Okay, good. Thank you. All right. Jamie, anything?
No.
Husheng?
None.
No, Barb?
Thank you.
No, and nothing from me. Future items, next regular meeting date is December 16th, 2024. Time to be determined and looking for an adjournment.
Motion adjourned.
Move to adjourn by Zagami, second by Wyland. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, 404, we are adjourned. Thank